Welcome back to Given Chances Farm. I'm Tony, and today we're going to do a special video. My lieutenant at work just recently completed his 30 years on the department. To me, that's pretty special in our line of work, to be able to put in 30 years and still have that fire to continue. He loves his job, loves being at work, and actually to the point of it almost makes him mad when they make him take a vacation day even. He likes to be at work and likes to do our job. Very passionate about it. So I figured I can't do much for him, but because he doesn't want a party, he doesn't want anything, and even said, you know, multiple times that even the day that he decides to leave the department, doesn't want a party, doesn't want any big commotions or anything like that. But the least I can do is I've been driving for him for 7-8 years at least now, something like that.
Something like that.
And the guy we have backstepping for us over the years, I've worked at the house with him most of my career, just not, I was on a different shift. And so is the firefighter we have riding backstep for us. So we've known him for, I think Ricky's worked with him for almost 18, 19 years now, and I've been there over 16. So, and actually when I first started, he was my first lieutenant for just a couple of weeks, but still he was my first lieutenant I ever had there. So, so it's pretty special to me. Sorry. So that way we will, the idea that we came up with for a gift for him is we're going to turn a firefighter pin for him. So I'm actually going to start it out with a thin red line acrylic blank. I'm going to cut it down, and then we're going to use the Woodcraft firefighter pin kit. So as it comes closer to that time, I'll show you what that looks like. So I'm going to cut this down to the right size, and then we're going to drill it on the lathe, and then we'll go through turning it and final assembly. And then I'll have, I'm also going to add Ricky to this video later in it to be able to say something. We were going to turn it together, but just schedules don't really work out to where the two of us with families can have the time, because I'm kind of picky about how it's done. So even though the CA glue, gluing in the pin tube says, you can do it within like 15 minutes to an hour, some guys say, but I prefer mine I cut it, drill it, glue the pin tube in, and then give it 24 hours at least before I come back. So we'll get that part of it done here. Alright, so now the blank is drilled. So for this kit, it calls for a 10mm drill bit. So this is the first time I've actually used this lathe here at the house. I just bought it. And it is the first time I've ever drilled one on the lathe. So basically, the way this works, I've got another one over here. Take this, the blank, you put it in the jaws here, and then tighten the jaws up, snug them. There's a couple pins that you can put in there to tighten them up, and then turns. Then basically you put the tailstock up there into place. Make sure it's all the way retracted. Right there's your 0. And then, so you basically get that into place, lock it down, and then there's marks on there. I know that's 2 inches. So once I go and screw this in, and it's hollow in here, so if the drill bit runs past it, it won't hurt anything. So and that's basically how I drilled the blank. The next step of it is to actually get the pin kit out. We have to have this pin tube, and what I'll end up doing is I'll take it over there and I will rough it up with sandpaper. I'll put CA thick glue on it. I'll have it on the tube insertion tool, which is kind of similar to like a tapered punch, and then we'll slide it in there and you kind of turn it as you go, and that gets it to stick. Alright, so this is the pin insertion, or tube insertion tool. So basically, the way I do it, I just get it up here close, and then I always rotate it. That way you know you're getting the glue all the way around it. Yeah, the white spot on the one side, that's where the sticker was on it. And then I make sure I don't pop out the other side. As long as you got that done. There you go. And like I said, some guys, they'll start turning this within 15 minutes to a half hour, some say an hour. I always give it 24 hours, because what I've found is when I put the barrel trimmer in there, so the barrel trimmer has a bit that goes all the way through the center and rides in there like a guide, and then it has a bigger piece out here that trims this flush. And some guys will actually use a disc sander to square these ends up. I use a barrel trimmer. If I don't wait, like I've even done it an hour later, to me it doesn't give the CA glue enough time to cure. I don't use the accelerator. Maybe if I did, that might help it. But in the past, when I've tried to do that, the time that it takes me to try to trim the end of that, the friction inside that tube heats up the glue again, and then the tube starts sliding, and one time it even stuck on the barrel trimmer, and that was a pain. So we'll set this off to the side, and I'll be back. I actually won't do it in 24 hours. This thing will have, it'll be almost 36 hours by the time I get back home to work on it, since I'm on shift tomorrow. So, but it will be ready to go. I'll kind of show you just a little bit about this kit real quick, because it's pretty neat, I think. It's a click pin, and kind of give you a little bit of a close-up of it. It has a picture of a truck on it there, if you can see it in the photo. And then the sorry, not the ladder, but the axe, you pull it up, and that's how it clicks the pin out. You pull it up again and it retracts the pin back in there, and it'll be a ballpoint pin. So I think he'll like it. So alright, well, I'll bring you guys back when I get back home to start turning this. Alright, so we're back out here in the shop today. I've got the pin blank already in the chuck. We're going to go ahead and do the barrel trimming of it. I'm going to trim the barrel flush on both sides, and then we will I'll show you what it looks like when we're done. Basically, I'm just going to keep going in and out so I can see it until we get it flush. Alright, so we got it trimmed flush. So right here's our blank. We got it, the barrel trimmed flush on both ends. So now what we got to do is we got our mandrel set up. Got our bushing in place already. Get it on there. Slide it onto the bushing. I'm just going to put a little spacer on there. And bring the tailstock over. I'm running a mandrel saver on here so that I don't have to worry about it. Then we will move our tool rest over here, get it into place. And you'll notice on this one, this is the first time I've used this lathe. So, but in comparison to the Craftsman, I'm actually able to get this way up there, right there, close to it. Oh, I got that a little too close. There we go. Turn it by hand, make sure everything spins freely. And we'll lock her down. Alright, so the only thing we got left to do, and on this one, being acrylic blank, I'm actually using a negative rake. So this is the first time using this tool as well. So we'll get it turning and start shaping it. Noise right now because I'm trying to round it off. And you got a square blank. That tells me I'm not square, or I'm not round right now. Otherwise it wouldn't be bouncing. So. Alright. I'm gonna put you guys on time lapse, and then I'll get this round. So, shut the. Okay, so we've turned the blank down, and this is the results of it. So it's got the thin red line showing, and we stopped just a little bit proud of the bushings. That way when we sand it, the final finished piece will be right at the bushings. So we're going to remove the tool rest, start sanding, and then we'll bring you guys back. We're going to sand it through using sandpaper all the way through 600, and then we'll go to the micro mesh all the way up to, I think it's 2000 grit, I think. So we'll bring you guys back and show you at the end result. Alright, so this is sanded all the way up to 600 sandpaper, and then the micro mesh we did all the way to 12,000. So I'll kind of spin it here and give you guys a look at it. That's what it looks like right now. Only thing we got left to do to it is get everything cleaned up shaving wise, and then we'll put our finish coat on it. Alright, so now we're going to apply the finish to it, and we're going to use this Hut Ultra Gloss polish on here, and then so basically all we did was make sure we shook it up well. We're going to apply a little bit of it onto our rag here. We're going to apply it with the lathe off first, just so everything gets coated. You can kind of see it's got a little bit of a white haze to it. And then we're going to turn the lathe on and polish it in. This, you want your finger to turn warm. That means you get
just like polishing on a car, right?
Yeah. I'll try to do this without messing the video up. Probably easy. Alright. Bring you over here and give you a look at it. That light's kind of right in the way for the camera. There we go. So, that is after one coat. We're going to put a second coat on that to make sure we got everything finished on there the way we like it. Put that second coat on there real quick. Then we'll bring you guys back. Alright, so we're going to get ready to put this second coat on here real quick. And get this thing finished up.
Okay, so the guy who this is going to, I've known him for a better part of 20 years probably, because as an explorer with the fire department, he was around. That was, what, about 96, Tim?
Yeah.
And this guy is one of the most kind people you will ever meet. So, you know, it's nice to be able to do something like this for him. 30 years in the fire service is a very long time, so it's, you know, it's got to count for something, right? So, you know, just like to do something nice for him. Very kind, very understanding guy. It's what you need whenever you're new in the fire service, and you need a lot of that. So, always willing to teach. Sit down, talk about something, all good.
I'll let you kind of finish that up real quick and see what you think. Or you can kind of feel how.
We need a little bit more.
Nope, it should be good. There's still plenty on there. Look at that. Feel the heat a little bit. Just barely.
There it is, yeah.
Yep. Alright. I think that'll do it.
Yeah.
We'll idle down here. Bring you guys over here real quick and show you what it looks like. Is that light?
Ooh, hey, that's nice.
Okay. So I'll kinda, let's see.
Get that line
Get a little better.
Yeah.
There's that line. Nice finished product there. Now we're going to take it off there and assemble it, and I'll show you what the assembled product looks like. Alright, there's our finished product. And for those of you that have watched some of my other videos, when we upgraded the lathe, this pin press actually came with it. So no more using my Irwin clamp to have to assemble these pins. So here's the finished product. Ricky's got it holding it. I'll kind of flip it over just a minute. So basically, it's a click pin. When you move the axe, it actually extends it. You move it a second time, and it retracts.
It's pretty slick.
And there is a picture of a ladder truck on there. Yes, we are engine guys, but I like the fact of having the picket axe on there instead of the other ones I've seen. The clip was just a ladder, and then it had like the Maltese cross on the side of it. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. LT, I hope you enjoy this pin, and we'll be there for you when you finish out your career. So don't forget to like, subscribe, share on social media with all your family and friends, and we'll see you guys tomorrow.